Alright, my lovers, it's MJ from Auto Love TV. How are you? I'm stoked. It's Saturday. It's the weekend before this epic lunar eclipse in Capricorn, July 4th and 5th. And we've been kind of working on these energetic transformations and dynamics for a good couple of years. And this year, 2020, as far as I can interpret with the astrology, is totally transformational. So those of us with an awareness of a great awakening or paradigm shift on this planet, this is not like it's happening. As in, this is the 3D physical manifestation of all of humanity basically awakening to their deeper and broader connection to source or creative energy, right? Like, we're the creators, and also part of that is a disclosure energy, a greater awareness of culpability and accountability in our systematic leadership, and then a desire for global change on a systematic level. So that's, you know, obviously a system that just supports more people, it doesn't corrupt, isn't sort of agenda driven, and ultimately it doesn't have a thematic of divide and conquer, and vessel or brain function remains in the fight flight response mechanism. We remain reptiles in essence. We remain not as wise and full of our potential as we could be. So this paradigm shift is ultimately about our emancipation as a people on the planet. So it's a beautiful story, and a lot of the darkness and the suffering that we endure as a soul is ultimately expansive and transformational. So there is purpose to all of the pain, as annoying as that is when we're in the pain. Ultimately, from an empath's point of view, you once you understand what your emotions are and how they have transformative power, and emotional awareness ultimately is alchemy as well. We can become the alchemist when we in essence master, but sometimes I think the word master is affiliated with control and domination, like master the emotions. To me it's so much more fluid than that, because from my perspective, the emotional gate or the emotional awareness mastery is more about surrender, vulnerability, and allowing, and essentially basically allowing your beingness to have all of the emotion, and you don't have to control. You can allow, but bearing in mind you're not reactive. You're in a state of presence, so you might feel anger, you might feel rage, you might feel frustration, whatever emotion, but you don't act from that place or react even. So holla, 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 holla. Thank you guys so much for all your private bookings. If you guys don't know, I'm an author. This is my book based on my own 15-20 year spiritual awakening and transformational journey, and over 10 years professional success as a yoga meditation teacher and transformational coach. Holla, holla, holla. If you guys don't want to support, I have quite a lot of radical people in this tribe that they don't support Amazon. I understand that. I hope you can understand why my book is there, because it's the platform that allows us to self-publish. So if you would rather purchase a copy of this book from me, I actually have about 4 copies left when I do kind of a large order. It is more expensive when you buy from me. And anything else? Yes, you can buy clothing, online courses, digital products, private sharings, oh, and it's on Audible. So if some of you I know prefer to listen, and it's me, and I speak in the voice of Yoda because I am a Jedi. Disapprove, but I do. So okay, my lovers, I'm gonna sit with you, and I'm gonna endeavor to go through all of the 13 signs, because I tend to do it of a fucus reading. In the July readings, I actually share with you my perspective of Fucus and like what that sign is representative of. So feel free to check that out. A Fucus, in my opinion, can resonate with any of us that are on this spiritual awakening journey. You know, that we've chosen the hero's journey. So the sign of a Fucus is sort of representative of that in my awareness. It's like a bridge to a higher octave. All right. In our awareness, because we're beginning to become more aware of our divinity, which is in alignment with the mystery, the void, the darkness, which is the feminine, and that has been kind of distorted and denied, which is part of the whole awakening. So we come into greater harmonic balance within the self by honoring our totality. Okie dokie. Halla, 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 halla. Thank you so much for being here. If you resonate, feel free to buy stuff, like, subscribe, and do all that juicy, beautiful stuff that really helps me out. And let's just get in with it. So, Aries, my lovers, my Aries lovers. I'm Aries as well. Aries sun. So I do res hardcore with the Aries lovers and any of the fire signs. So in the weekly readings, I've sort of gotten in the habit of just doing like 3 or 4 card pull. Aries. Yes, Aries. So Aries, you've definitely dropped some burdens here. You're kind of wanting to reclaim and come back into your center with the Queen of Wands reversed. And then you're coming into a Queen of Pentacle, or there's a Queen of Pentacle coming into your life, of more mature, this is just intuitive, so more mature, grounded, practical, but I really feel, Aries, that this is more to do with, like, it's almost like you're maturing, so it's like some of the maybe negative traits of Aries, aggression and impulsivity, which could come across as carelessness and or irresponsibility, you are coming into that. And then I think as you trust yourself, as you're beginning to ground all that fiery energy, you're gonna then rewire and reroute, which it's like an up level of your nature, so you can become the fiery element once again, but from a more grounded, practical, and ultimately more loving perspective. This is like a super loving energy, and like earth energy is loving. And so the Queen of Wands is the crux of the reading this week, where, yeah, I feel like after maybe you've been doing a lot of grounded type work, or maybe resisting some of your like fiery impulsivity, you've possibly been doing some healing or earth work as well. Then it will come time, especially as you're approaching the full moon in Capricorn on the upcoming weekend, right? That full moon might be a bit of a reset, and you'll feel more empowered or charged. And I know that I think Mars is moving into Aries for a considerable amount of time. So I feel like this is sort of like a bit of a return for you, Aries. You'll start to feel that fire again, and ultimately, I feel that fire is gonna start moving you forward, and you're bound to have a lot of positive manifestation and a sense of direction, especially when you complete this full moon in Capricorn. I'll just choose this one more card from the Osho deck as well. Yeah, so the Queen of Pentacles and the additional guidance here is really about your receptivity, Aries. And I feel that's been part of the shift for you of embodying a bit more grounded energy, was that you were almost carrying too many burdens unknowingly, maybe moving too fast. It's an Aryan thing to want to move really fast. Moving too fast to stop and receive the reward of all of this creative work. And ultimately, I think you've been probably doing all this creative work, but now it's time for you to kind of lay down the stress of it, lay down the burden, lay down the pressure, and just be open to receive. And there's a sense with this Queen of Pentacles of like, let yourself enjoy the pleasures of life. Enjoy some good food with friends. Enjoy whatever it might be. Going gardening or something. Who knows, right? So, okay, there you go, Aries. That's the week ahead for you. Again, if that resonated, feel free to book a private reading. That's usually how they work. If it doesn't resonate, you're not going to book a private reading, right? But if it resonates, there's something like a connection with our intuitions. Okay, Taurus, my lovers, my Taurians. Okay, my Taurus lovers. So there's definitely some energy here coming through of like sleepless nights, not being able to with sleep. There's a Nine of Swords energy. So the Nine of Swords, sorry guys, this light is kind of bothering me a little bit. I wonder what it'd be like. Okay, so I feel like you're in a bit of a loop of anxiety and worry and waiting, and anxiety and worry and waiting, and anxiety and worry and waiting. Part of the piece for this week's weekly sesh here is that there is a message coming in, and the message does feel like it's gonna help kind of bring you out of this funk. I mean, this cycle, it's anxiety, it's waiting around, it's feeling anxious. So there's a lot of anxiety here for you, Taurus. And then there's a message coming in. It's a pentacle message, so it's a page of pentacle. Okay, so for some of you, it's around a King of Sword energy. That's Libra, Aquarius, or Gemini. Intuition is sensing that this King of Swords has left, or there's a dissolution of a connection here. Something that you were wanting to manifest is not manifesting. Part of the guidance as well, this is conflicted energy. This is an energy not in alignment. The King of Swords is in the reverse, and dare I say, your connection to that King of Swords is likely causing the sleepless nights. This person is, I want to say, a liar. This person is not. They use their words, right? The sword is a thought form. They use their words and mental capacity to throw you off, right? So the messenger here is bringing you energy of a certain amount of tangibility and clarity that can help get you out of the situation. Five of Wands is supporting this energy, saying this is a conflicted energy. And the wand, the five, is such like a there's, you know, you can either keep fanning more flame or stoking that fire with more conflict energy, or just let that fire go out by walking away, right? And the page energy just sort of just feels like, take that message, run with it, walk away. So this is a pretty specific reading for whomever it aligns with. So mega love. I'm gonna finish the Taurus reading there, you guys. Message coming in, and there's somebody around that you're definitely being asked to kind of cut out, because they're just causing you grief and despair and anxiety and waitingness. So stand your ground, Taurus. Hold your own and allow a positive message of good tiding and resource to see you through the situation ultimately. Yeah, remember, you're the source, you're the creator. You can own and transform any situation that appears in front of you. Gemini. And now here we go for the Gemini. My Gemini. Boom. Totally. Okay, Gemini. So you've got a new beginning, birthing a new perspective, and coming to close closing down this cycle. So this has been coming really the last year or so since I've been doing tarot, but this is an absolute finality. These are karmic closures, in my opinion. You know, if we are the creators of our reality, which I do believe this is, then our mental, you know, the thoughts that we think, and certainly because we're transitioning as a humanity into this quantum essence. So most of us, we're not consciously choosing to get stabbed in the back, we're unconsciously choosing. And all of these swords help us become more conscious until we're dead, basically, right? We die to the illusion to be reborn. So there's definitely an alchemical process to rising from the ashes after this energy. And this is part of our collective here now shifting as well, especially the empath community having owned and transformed the entirety of their karma to now be reborn into this new perspective, right? This is also here, I feel, Gemini, this is possibly a benevolent energy coming into your life. A fiery queen, a fiery... Again, I often think of modern mystics, intuitives, maybe tantric sex goddesses. Just, there's this benevolent energy. This is a creative energy. This could be about you embodying more of your mysticism, more of your sensuality, more of your passion, more of your fire. Most of you, though, there's an 8 of Wands, though, so most of you, I feel that this is actually like an energy coming in. You know, this could be a mother, a sister, an aunt figure. It doesn't feel like that, though. It feels more like an investor or a potential business partner. But again, for some of you, it's just you embodying more of your creative dynamic, you know, creatrix energy, bringing about this new beginning after closing down this karmic cycle. Yeah, Gemini, that feels about right, especially with the North Node in your sign. It's really like, I want to say it's like time for the Gemini energy to shine. Another note coming through is this is also a time for us to really heal our sibling energy. Bearing in mind, as a healing collective, we often talk about the mother-father wounding, like we kind of, yeah, we adopt and take on our mums and dads' energies, right? And then what I really became aware of in the last, like, probably a few months, but definitely by yesterday, I was like, oh, Gemini, the twins, the siblings, right? So just hold that, if that feels at all resonant for you, that some of the karmic and or energetic transformation that could be coming up, the residue of our healing journey, could be sibling oriented. So it could have to do with the karmic loops that you've adopted or taken on from your brothers or sisters. Okay, Cancer. Let my Cancer lovers. Ooh. So Cancer, good. You're coming out of a phase of being really closed. The 4 of Pentacles. You're coming out of that phase. For some of you, it could be healing. For some of you, it could have been recouping financial losses, or you know, just sitting on it. And plus, we've been in this lockdown mostly around the globe, so I feel that's probably allowed you a bit of time to recoup some finances. That's what that feels like. On the energetic level, it does feel like there's been some hardship, like just been really focused on something, mainly really focused on not blowing all your dough, basically. Cancer, I just gotta say, like, really nice. You're looking after yourself and laying some foundations for a new life. There's the Knight of Swords here. They're moving away from your temperance and your stable foundation. I almost feel like this could be somebody connected to the losses. And they are on their way out. They're not going to bother you anymore. I'm seeing they're off they go. I feel like you're in your power, in your temperance here, Cancer. You shone light on a situation, a person that was probably being manipulative. This could be somebody that works for you randomly as well. Because your temperance mode is really about you up-leveling. But in this framework, I feel this is your entire life. You're laying down foundations for a joyful life, and you're doing the work to embody it. You're not going back to tightness. You're being more wise and intuitive when it comes to people you work with and people you work for, or people who work for you. And it's like that's all being cleared out. Lack and limitation in your resource and your finances, and manipulative base tone people, all that is being cut out. You're focusing solely on your temperance and your strong foundation. I think that's alright. That's good for you. Alright, Cancer. Oh, happy birthday. Happy birthday to my Cancer lovers. Do you like my new top, you guys? Genuine. Okay. Leo. Ooh, Leo. You guys are brilliant. There you are. You come right up in your reading, Leo. Okay. There is definitely something dying. There's a death card and a laying to rest. For some of you, this is more than likely a funeral. Mega love, you guys. Mega love. Death card with laying to rest. I mean, if you know, there's a part of me doing tarot is that tarot cards sharing a message, and if it resonates, it resonates. If it doesn't, it doesn't. But this is, to me, a coffin, a laying to rest, with the death card is clarifying that energy. That's part of why you're having to dig in for some strength. So Leo, whoever that's resonating with, I'm sorry for your loss. Oh, Leo, may I love you guys. So interesting. It's like this actually feels like probably somebody in your reality who has not been well, and who has maybe been on their deathbed, because you're coming into this reading with like, dig in, find the strength, and it might be that they pass during this week, and the piece of clarity or the openness here is that this is a decision made for you, because you're going to come out of a indecisiveness. I feel this person's passing could be the decision as well, which on some levels is going to free you up. This could be like, an example would be, you've been looking after a parent or a grandparent. That's been your world, right, for however long that they've been unwell, and they have a passing, and then that is the decision that you're off you go looking for a different job, or off you go, now you have something else, you know, to focus on. You're going to have to focus on yourself and not this person anymore. So there's something in the Strength card, the Infinity Loop is there, and there's something absolutely profound about the Infinity Loop and recognizing eternal life. It doesn't make the grieving process, I think, any more painful or difficult. It's just the deeper knowing that we do eventually transform that grief. It's not to say that there isn't always a feeling of missing someone or what have you, and yet we still, through the process of grief, we can become more enlightened beings, right? And absolutely still remain connected to the people that we love, wherever they are and whatever form they are in, right? Leo, mega love for you. This doesn't happen very often through the messages, so yeah. Big hugs. Okay, there's Leo. So Virgo, my lovely Virgo lovers. Ooh, we're looking on the soft. Ooh, ooh, nice reading. Ooh, baby, Virgo, you're doing it, doing it right, doing it. You got a lot of love here. Moving to calmer waters. Some of you, I think, could be getting involved with a King of Swords. Again, Libra, Gemini, Aquarius. This is very cosmic, I want to say. Very, because there's the Star card kind of crowning the King of Swords energy after a period of the Hanged Man, and you're with all this self-love and angelic and unity, and it's this whole elemental energy, the fruits, the mountains, the burning bush, the burning trees, right? So there is absolutely an energy here of divinity, I would say here, Virgo, coming out of a Hanged Man, or possibly still a bit suspended. I think for some of you, you might be unsure about the King of Swords, but you're moving toward it. There's sense of calm. This King of Swords is absolutely anchored in their grounded divinity and their knowingness. So you're moving toward the star energy, and for some of you, there is definitely a king or queen coming into your life, or they're there already and you're going to calmer waters with that person. There's a sense, the Hanged Man, I feel, is a sense of be really patient with this connection. Like I'm almost wanting to say, like, don't rush these new connections coming in. Or this is a sense of greater love in a relationship where you're both moving up that vibrational ladder together, so you're up leveling. So there's another energy here of, like, it could have been a relationship that was becoming stagnant, and then both parties endeavor to up level the love hot vibrashe, and together you go to calmer waters, risen from the star energy here. Yeah, there's definitely like a renewal. We have the Fool card as an additional clarifier. There's a renewal taking place in your life, and it has a lot of love in it. There's 2-3 major arcanas, so there's a real surge of new beginning here for you, and moving to calmer waters in a loving bond and a loving connection. Very, very light filled, again, especially after this Hanged Man, after this energy of stagnancy, whether personally or in your love life. And I'm thinking, oh yeah, because I have a Virgo moon, and I'm certain, obviously depending on your personal natal chart, but I'm certain the Virgo moon energy has had a kind of a rough ride when it comes to love and your perspective of love. So it kind of looks like when it comes to love, you're finally moving to calmer waters, and it's going to feel familial and full of potential because it's guided by the star energy. Okay, okay, Virgo. Who's next now? Who'll be next now? Who's after Virgo? Libra. Okie dokie, my Libra lovers, let's get into this. I have a Libra stellium. I've realized recently, I think I have a Sagittarius stellium as well. No, I could be wrong. Anywho, yeah, have a lot of Libra in my chart, and I resonate with Libra and energy, and it's interesting that actually a lot of my long-standing clients are Libra, and they like actually are, I feel like, angels in my life. So holla to the Libras. I love you guys big time. Oh, it's the same energy as the fucking Virgo. Let's keep shuffling and see what comes through. Okay, Libra. Libra, you guys got it going on. Libra. 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 Okay, there's some love coming in. There's a potential soulmate connection here. The Judgment card, the World, the Four of Pentacles, and the Knight of Wands. And the Judgment's in the upright. This is a positive, singing your praises. Knight of Wands is coming directly into your new world. This funny. I get a sense possibly for some of you just to a kind of feeling caution is a Knight of Wands, a passionate fire sign energy, obviously male or female because these are general readings. This is somebody that's like moving straight into your world. I think they have a lot of passion. I do actually get a pretty grounded sense from this Knight of Wands. Just be mindful. I'm getting that sense of like fertility. There's a lot of passion here. And then I'm getting like this, yeah, lots of sex basically. And then just be aware of that. When I'm aware when readers say this as well, that if we're in that kind of highly charged space, the likelihood of pregnancy might be a bit higher. So just be aware of that, Libra, if you're not wanting to make a baby with the Knight of Wands. Part of the reason I say that is because this card is here as well. For some of you, I feel like you're having to, or you're feeling a bit bound with your resources, or not tight. You know, I'm not saying there's a, like you're, it's not a cheapskate. It feels more responsible because there's this new world, and there's a sense of love, like so. And there's a Six of Cups, so that's a soulmate connection, or potentially just somebody from your past coming back around, which feels like a positive judgment. So this could be, again, a situation from your past that was pretty shit, and then there's making amends. We're in that kind of energy anyway with all these retrogrades, right? And this super potent transformational astrology. So this Six of Cups feels to me, with the Judgment next to it, like somebody from your past who maybe did you wrong, or like talk shit about you or whatever's coming back around to make amends. So it doesn't necessarily feel like a love offer for longevity. It just feels like these karmic closures, right? These, oh yeah, you did, oh, bull sex, and then somebody just making amends, making an apology, which gives you a sense of resolution, right? And then another piece of the story is just this, like, hold your own. This Knight of Wands is coming in. There's potential fertility here and a bit of passionate excitement. I need to pull some clarifiers for this little story. I want clarity on the Four of Pentacles, and then we'll see where that takes us. So this is a bit of a... This has to do with actually you're wanting to release some of those pentacles. There's an imbalance here. Basically what it's saying is like holding on tight is limiting the income, basically limiting the sense of balance. So just I think that's it. Like, just be aware of that ebb and flow. To rise the pentacle is a feeling of having more. So it's a little bit like very gently just start. You don't have to give your pentacle away, but have a sense of just, you know, like, and just start to take the pentacle off the heart. It's more an energetic thing of relax a bit around the pentacle. And you know what I get for Libra as well? This isn't about you giving more. I think you give more than enough. This is about you receiving. Because right now, this is reverse. So you have the Pentacle and you're fine giving these out when you deem, and yet can you receive them? Can you receive them back? So right now it's saying no, it's just like hit, right? So there's a little bit of a sense here of just be chill and be open to receive some joy, some love, some smiles, some whatever, you know? And then relax a little bit. Maybe take these 4 pentacles and rearrange them. Put them over in front of you, or maybe put all 4 of them on your head, or right? Like, that's the thing about manifestation. It's like so much is focused on external, but really, like, these 4 pentacles could be 100 million or 0, right? The tighter we're holding these 4 pentacles, the less energy there is that's bound. So relax, have fun, play with your pentacle. I don't know why I'm laughing at that. I mean, just to play with the pentacle. Yeah, just giving that give and take. Mindful of this Knight of Wands. That's a fire energy coming in, but there's a passion and attraction there. It could be like a one-night stand, but there's a sense of this person is pretty fired up by you. So, but I think it's just making sure you kind of hold your own as well. Okay, I'll leave it there. My Libra lovers, let's crack on, shall we? Let's move on to the Scorpio reading. So Scorpio, my lovers, my sexy Scorpio lovers. Yeah, I'm going to do a bit more shuffling. So Scorpio, divine guidance and love and clarity for the Scorpios. Ooh, you guys. There's definitely some issues mentally. This is funny. I feel like for some of you, you've had a bit of an awakening. So you've had some blindfolds taken off. So the 8 of Swords reversed, and then there's followed up by the 9 of Swords reversed. For some of you, there's been a lot of anxiety, sleepless nights. This is to do with an awakening experience, though, because the way I'm feeling that the 8 of Swords reverse is like this. When you suddenly take your blindfolds off and you realize that you're the creator and your thoughts are creating things, and you're just like Shazam, like what the actual is like, and then you're like, I feel there's just a charge of energy here, Scorpio. There's a Star card, and then the Strength in reverse. So absolutely, there's a sense here of like reshuffling. I'm getting like, there's a sense of restabilizing your reality after maybe a bit of a upheaval kind of thing. But the Star card is ultimately also here saying like you've got this, and also this intense sword energy is helping you to become a King of Swords or Queen. So I know it's shit, but like this has been probably some pretty intense times for you, Scorps. Sleepless nights, sort of some anxiety, and yet the energy rising up from within is like a new status, a new kingly status, which is guided by the Star card. It also, I'm getting a sense of, for some of you, there could be what feels like quite instantaneous success and recognition in the world, and then if that's the case, it's or regardless, there's a sense of finding strength. You're gonna have to dig in and endeavor some strength and inner resource like you've never before had. But there again, you've risen, you've worked through all of these mental corruptions or distortions. You're coming up clarity with King of Swords. A Star card is really like, follow that star, follow your bliss, follow your truth, and dig in deep, Scorpio. You've got strength here coming up, and again, for some of you, there's definitely this rebirth transformation, which is possibly bringing in substantial reward, and for some of you, recognition for whatever you do in the world, or like maybe a thought form that you're bringing to a world, or a new idea, or something like this. Or it should just be creative, a star card energy, Aquarian age, the inner knowing. It could be something to do with what you do in the world, and receiving that recognition. Just stay strong in yourself, and yeah, don't take other people's shit on. Really believe in who you are, and find the strength to continue. You have been through a lot, but you're over the hurdle of the worst bit of this mental angst. Okay, Scorps, let's move on to Sagittarius. My Sagittarius lovers. Ooh, that one wanted to jump out strong. Ooh, that came through another reading. I haven't had that one yet though, have I? Oof. My lovers, my lovers. Justice. Sagittarius. So, 9 of Pentacles, Chariot, and Ace. Everything's reversed. But the reversal is somehow bringing up the Justice card. So weird. So bizarre. So the Justice card is sort of telling me, it's like, okay, maybe you haven't manifested the 9 of Pentacles yet, and maybe you're not moving forward as fast as you want, and maybe you haven't quite figured out what direction you want to go in, or how you want this new beginning to come in, but this is all part of the plan. You know, as a fellow fire sign, and someone who's also like just I find this reading incredibly irritating because it's here. That's kind of part of it, is like, okay, the 9 of Pentacles is here, the Chariot's here, new beginning moving forward. Pentacle, lots of money, lots of independence, lots of sovereignty. And then, but the cards are like, but not yet. And then the Justice is here, is like, this is exactly how it's meant to be. This is the pure divine essence. This is justice. This is good karma. This is greater balance and harmony. Justice, right? We all want the justice. It's almost like you have to have absolute faith in the justice before all this manifests. Super funny that, isn't it? I know, we all get into it. We all get into those little obsessive webs of darkness. You know, where we just loop ourselves into a destructive frenzy, basically, through the mind. And yet, vibrationally, if we could just totally vibrate the truth of our own justice and sense of balance, and also sense of divinity, it's fucking monumental shit, yo. And completely opposed to the programming of the 3D construct, right? This is a higher harmonic bass tone, where yes, sovereignty, divine guidance, new beginning, and mental perspective. We are the creators of our world. And but there seems to be like a bit of a, I want to say like an energetic threshold that needs to be kind of, I kind of want to say pushed through or felt into, that pertains to justice and the absolute knowingness that this is your divinity, this is your divine birthright, to be Chariot moving forward, to have absolute sovereignty in your resource world, and mental clarity and focus to create what you want. Interesting read. Thanks, Sag. Alright, let's go Capricorn. I'm gonna do a little Ophiuchus reading at the end for you guys, okay? As the 13th symbol, bridging consciousness. So, Capricorn. Because it is. It's only 4:30 now. Nice. So Capricorn. Right away there's a Four of Wands reversed. I do often interpret that card as, pardon me, uprooting. So Four of Wands upright is putting the foundations down. Reverse is pulling your foundations up the ground and rerooting yourself, right? For some of you, this might be a little bit of an exhausting week for you. Well, if we're moving house can be pretty taxing anyway. So the Temperance is calling you. This is a really nice move. This is a move into greater balance, which will feel more abundant for you, Capricorn. And really what you're distancing yourself from here is people who lie or people you don't resonate with. So for some of you, there might be another layer as you're moving and restructuring. There could be like another shedding that occurs, just stripping your life of any corruption, deception, or just people that aren't that good for you, really. And then you're embracing people that are really, really lovely. Good energy here, Capricorn. Six of Pentacles, good balance. Some of you, this is very obviously a move. And so just make sure you're looking after yourself. That's the only real, I guess, caution here is the Temperance reversing. Like, you know, if you are moving, if you're shifting stuff around, that can take a lot out of us. So make sure you're looking after yourself. Positive thing is you really are moving away from people who lie and manipulate, and you're coming into a benevolent balance with your relationships. And certainly the resources that you attract into your life. It's much more equanimous now. Holla. Okay. So Aquarius. Ooh, Aquarius, you've got an offer coming in. The end of conflict. Wow. Yeah, this is feeling actually the end of conflict and the death of a creative process or a creative project. I feel very that this is a business related thing. Your creativity is infused in it. It's causing you sleepless nights. The tower's coming down, though, I'm afraid to say. Well, I'm not afraid to say. We all know these tower moments happen, such as life, right? I just understand that for some of you, it's going to feel like a death process. I absolutely feel that this is, for a lot of you, a business. A business is having to close. The point is that you're a bit forlorn about it. There's the Four of Cups. So right now you're probably focusing on, oh, woe is me, shitty shits. I've just lost everything I've been building up. The tower moment is a building that comes down. Now, with regards to this energy, this is a building that you've been working on, cleaning up, fixing, doing your business out of, whatever. But the conflict it was really ultimately based probably in illusion in some anxiety and old paradigm work mode. So it had to end, I'm afraid, Aquarius. So this, again, right now, this energy is in the here now anyway, quite, maybe you're having to, finalize a lease or finalize a contract that hasn't been able to make manifest, or signing off on these energies. Essentially, the biggest feel is like the business. You've had to close your doors. You've had to close down the biz, and you're in a bit of contemplation. Fortunately, with the Four of Cups, that means there's opportunity coming in. So, you won't be in that space for too long, Aquarius. Loving opportunity as well. So this is a fantastic opportunity now to start moving yourself in a new direction. Again, it's always a bit of a shame or a disruption if we have to end something, yet that seems to be just what we all have to do in life, you know. I just look at this like Wheel of Fortune. What goes up must come down. What goes down must come up. It's the light and the dark. It's the feminine and the masculine, the left and the right, the day and night, moon and sun. It's these ever flowing unity dynamics, polarity, you know, as above, so below. So your temperance is your advice ultimately as well. Take a retreat, take some time out, go camping, spend time in nature, take your mind off this, especially if you've, you know, finalized a contract or closed your doors, as it were. Take time for yourself. That will help open you up and soften you to receive these new beginnings coming in for you, Aquarius. Namaste, my lovers. All right, Pisces. Let's see what comes through for my Pisces lovers. My lovers. I'm trying to figure out, like, it's just side note here. This, like, ugh. The light is just so bright, and I can tell it just... Don't know why it's my face. Anyway, I'll work on that. Okay. Here we go, Pisces. Let's see what we got. Ooh, Pisces. Yeah. Ooh, interesting. Ooh. There's some crux. Oopsie daisy. So there's definitely some crux shifting. There's conflict energy, battle and conflict energy. And yet the Hanged Man is reversing itself. So we're coming out of Hanged Man. It's just that there could be a bit of sticky, like, undoing, or people to walk away from, energies to cut out, blowouts, as it were. I don't, you know, I'm not fearmonger. It's just that that's what's coming up. It's like the crux of change is nigh. It's like happening. The cogs are starting to turn because you're coming out of the Hanged Man energy. So if you've been feeling stuck or feeling locked down or feeling quarantine or feeling also the energy I'm getting, like, unmotivated. It's suspended, Hanged Man. Like, I don't know what to do. Should I go here? I don't know what to do. So now there's movement, because that's the 5. 5 is dynamic change, possibly quite radical change as well. Just be prepared. It could bring about. Plus, we've got the Mars and Aries transit happening, that shift. So just be aware there could be a lot of energy. Endeavor to stay in your center and your power. Especially if this is people around you, be willing to step away and cut some energies out if that's what's you're being called to do. That's it. This is a new beginning. This is an absolute new beginning. So this is really positive, even though it's a lot of, like, intense energy. Yeah, Page of Swords. So there's possibly a Page of Swords, a younger Libra, Aquarius, Gemini. This person is probably in a bit of, like, and possibly in your environment. So just be aware of, you know, keeping yourself clear, focused, don't engage, cut people out where needed, hold space for this conflict. If it's not directly you, it's in your field, so hold space for it, and then come into your own as this cup. You're offering yourself a brand new beginning here, Pisces. This is pretty huge. Yeah, you've laid to rest the past now, right? So the energy moving forward is slow, steady, grounded, and then eventually you're going to give yourself this new cup, brand new beginning in love. But then we know emotional creates the entirety. So it's like this new beginning you're giving yourself is probably a new life, a rebirth in your energetic outpouring, right? Where you've left behind conflict, you've transformed the inner core wounding, right? And you're leaving behind distortion, you're leaving behind seeking power externally or expecting power from other. You're just stepping into this new beginning. Beautiful. Nice, Pisces, really good. Okie dokie. Let's see. Okay, a fucus. So I read a fucus like for the whole collective. It's a symbol of a 13th moon cycle and or not a 13th sign of the zodiac wheel. My understanding is that there's really 12 and that you can't really change that because it's sacred geometry and alchemy, right? But the Ophiuchuses are, to me, representative of the higher octave of any sign, ultimately. So any of us can resonate with Ophiuchus, okay? Wow. I'm resonating with Ophiuchus, if you don't mind. Ten of Pentacles. Ten of Pentacles manifesting now, and you're beginning to move forward. Money's coming in, Ophiuchus, and you are being guided forward. This is what you've been waiting for. Born of your new perspective. You've done the work. Yeah, you've done the work. You've healed your heart. You've transformed these wounds. You've risen. You've manifested. You've planted the seeds. You've stayed steady on your course, on your journey, and that what you've been asking for is making manifest. And I reckon it's this week as well with the full moon, or around this early July timeline. So we'll see what comes in for the next week's reading in any case. And let me know how you guys resonate there. Thanks if you guys put the timestamps and all that. Mega appreciation. Happy weekend, everybody. I will see my live share crew on Monday. And July 1st, I'll be going live definitely for our just the July energy update and have a little chat. Otherwise, if you want to join me in the live share crew, feel free to go to altalove.com and have a look at everything I provide and offer. And feel free to book, feel free to sign up to the live share crew for this live tribe, or, you know, buy my stuff. Buy my book. Love you guys. Have a wicked week. I look forward to seeing you next time. Peace out.